Was that a zippered top? Zipper closure. Okay. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Tammy. Okay, I need 8-inch zipper for the top. And then I finally get to use one of my poison apples. How did you know I needed company? Hi, Catherine. I needed company too. I ran errands all today. My house cleaners showed up at like 8 a.m. and we did not have the house clean. Hi, Frank. So that was great-ish. No, not really. Just in time to watch you from my bed. Hello, Helen. Didn't sound creepy at all. No, I get it. My machine has moved. Ow. There we go. Okay. Now everything feels right. Do you guys ever like leave for a little bit and you come back and you're like, wait, this doesn't feel right. Okay, I'm working on a Devon and a bunch of totes. Finally got my errands taken care of. Yeah, we had so much fun at Disney. But I am glad to be home. Especially since I have to drive to Chicago this weekend. Okay, I think I have cut this way too big. That is okay. Maybe not. Oh yeah, is that my... Hold on one second. I really am just go, go, go. It sucks. Alright. So my main fabric is just a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. Oops. So I'm just really quick gonna shrink it down. Okay, so I've got my zipper ready to go. I'm so excited to use this. Hi Margie, I am currently making a Devon wristlet. This is a custom order from Dragon Con that I had, using some zipper by the yard. feel like I always have to glance up for comments because YouTube is not as easy as Facebook. Change the view a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah, these are such great little sellers, honestly. And this one is a custom order, so I walked her through all of my little color samples. And this was before I had my poison apple pulls, so I feel like she's gonna be really surprised when she sees that. She'll be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'll be like, me either. Yeah, that's such a fun little project. I've been wanting to make one of those since she came out with the pattern, honestly. But I didn't have a custom order for one. And I feel like lately I don't have time to make anything unless it's a custom order. And what's great about the Devon wristlet is that you can change up the measurements to better suit whatever project you're working on. And you don't need to do like the squared bottom, which makes it go a little bit faster. So that's what I'm doing, is the wristlet without the squared bottom. So excited. It's the little things in life, you know? Now I'm not using a poison apple for the top zipper because I want to be able to attach a wristlet strap directly to the zipper. So I can't use the poison apple pull for that. So, how will do the wristlet zipper pull? Where will it clip? Oh, Karen, I have, these are the pop tab zipper pulls. Oh yeah, we've got a video for it. Me. What size needle? Probably a size 12 to 14. And then the thread, I pretty much just use all-purpose, whatever in it, or Tex 45. I have read, I don't know if this is true or not, that anything bigger than Tex, like 45, can mess with your timing on the machine. I don't know. I can't say whether it's true or not. So I just trimmed the excess. Since the measurements aren't perfect, I just trimmed the excess on the side here. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm sorry, I'm just so in love. I've never gotten to use one. So these are currently sold out in every color but antique gold, and antique gold there aren't many left, but I'm just so excited. Okay, stop. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my new nameplates also, because why not? I don't know if I want to add it to the front here or if I want to add it to the back of it. I guess I could put it through like the main fabric, but I don't really want to. I'll go ahead and add it to the back. Of course, I'm making this Devon take way longer than it needs to. But So I'm just marking out the center, lining up. There we go. So for these wristlets, I charge $35, just to give you a price idea. I do use the pre-made straps from my website. And then I am going to add little zipper tabs to this zipper, since it's zipper by the yard. And you gotta do that. So I'm just using raw edged vinyl. That's almost too wide. I'm gonna cut it, right now it's at 1.5 inches, but I'm gonna try to cut it at 1 inch so that not too much of the zipper is taken up. Okay. And you actually don't need to add a zipper tab to both sides if you're gonna square off your zipper. But I'm gonna see if I like the way that looks, or if I want the zipper tab on both sides. I feel like the zipper tab is gonna add more stability than squaring off the zipper, because it could pull out of the seam, especially since I'm using the zipper pull as the wristlet strap holder. You wanna think about the longevity of it. Oh, and I almost zipped off my zipper. Don't do that. And then I also like to test my zippers. That's what I was just doing, because it never hurts to make sure that it's gonna hold up, you know? You know? You can use double-sided tape, kind of like in the frame it pattern, to hold your zipper tab in place, or clips. And again, I'm just checking to make sure that I like the way that looks. I think I need to shorten this a little bit more. I might try and straighten that side up. There we go. Has anybody here worked on anything fun recently? Did you guys have a nice break from me? Garments, not bags. Oh, that's fun. A lot of pieces. Ooh, noodlehead minimalist. Oh, fun. Huh. Weird. Making hoodies, that's fun. I do. I made an Alice, is that the Alice shopper tote from Swoon? I did make one once. Yeah, Disney World was so fun. That was our second time going. We went last year for our anniversary also. No, I have not done any conceal carry. Oh yeah, the mini backpack. I want to make so many more. I kind of want to make like a midi backpack, so like enlarge it a little bit. At Disney, I did a lot of scoping out people's bags. Oh, the car trash can. Yeah, those are so fun. And we just had our swap for them in So Whatever. That was really fun. Yes, it is on a skater dress. Disneyland, I went last year with my sister. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago. It was so fun, and we might go next year to Disneyland. It's definitely easier than Disney World, because it's only 2 parks. Thank you, Bobbin. I appreciate you. I knew it was going to run out soon. Okay, well now I don't appreciate you because I don't have another red one made. But that's okay. I'll use black. They're on my website. You said the skater dresses? Yeah, just search Just One Bite. Hi, Nathan. Oh, yeah, so hot. There was one of the days, I mean, we were there for 6 days, technically 7. If I want to use my serger on the seams of a top by making, do I serge all pieces first? Ooh, are you not using your serger to put it all together? Because if you're using your serger to put it all together, you shouldn't need to. Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess serge it before, although it would make more sense to just make it all with your serger. Oh, the skirts. Yeah, we can do the skirts. For almost every article of clothing, there should be a listing that says any existing print. So you just purchase that and then put in the notes what you'd like, or you can just email me and I can send you an invoice. Pretty soon I'm going to be like overhauling all of the clothing on my website anyway, and like streamlining it and only maybe offering like 5 different pieces so that I'm not as overwhelmed ordering it all. Okay, there it is so far. Now I'm gonna unzip both of my zippers just to be careful. I'm gonna fold main panels together. Orange door hinge. Perfect. Lining everything up. So the front of my pattern is a little bit longer. Oh, thank you, Jane. Hello. So I'm going to make sure that the shorter side is facing up. So you can see here, one side is longer. And then I'll just kind of adjust my seam allowance accordingly. And then we gotta hope we don't run out of bobbin thread. So set my stitch length to 3.5. And then with my finger, I'm keeping an eye on where my zipper tabs are so that my seam allowance does not include them. You wanna just sew next to them, not through them. Then I add a little back stitch there, forward. Again, I'm feeling where that zipper tab is. And then leaving a decent sized opening to birth the bag through. I'm gonna trim down my seam allowances where I've sewn, especially at the zipper, so it's not so bulky. Okay, doke. Birth it. If you want, you could steam it before you birth it, especially if you're using waterproof canvas to line. That may help. But we should be fine. So black lining, green zipper, dark red glitter, poison apple fabric. Okay. Poking out the corners. You have a hard time selling them? Oh. And then at the zipper tabs, you want to make sure you poke that through as well. Bottom corners. And then you can use your machine to press this together. I'm just gonna add some clips. Whoops. Hi, Deborah. Sew in one of my labels. Backstitch, backstitch. Back inside. So the main portion of the wristlet is finished, and I'm just going to make the little strap really quick. And there it is with the zipper pull that matches. So really quick, I'm just gonna make the wristlet strap. These are the pre-made wristlet straps for my website. I purchased it from a website called FM Stores in Springfield. So I'm going to add a little hole at the ends of each strap and then one hole on one side about 2 inches from the other. So a total of 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna grab 1 rivet and then my snap hook. So my snap hook is gonna go on the side with multiple holes. I'm gonna start my rivet from the back side. Slide my snap hook through, and then you can either choose to put your second loop this here and then have one on top, or vice versa. Does that make sense? You could put the loose end through and then the top on like this, or you can slide your closest end through and then put the top on there. So either way, I think is fine. There are no raw edges on these, so either way works. And then I'm just gonna add my cap and press it all together. And then I can snap the wristlet strap on to the zipper pull. And it's all finished. Yay! Feels so nice to have at least one custom order done. So I write a little thank you note. Suzanne, maybe My Punk Broidery or Bo D.O. Vinyls. I'm gonna do a video opening one of their boxes soon. I ordered it so long ago and haven't gotten to open it at all. Because that's been my life. Okay, so poison apple, dark red glitter, lime green lining, zippered closure. Okay. So I need to make some bobbins. So this custom order, I'm gonna have to run over to my cutting table to cut something out, but not yet. Oh, yay, Joanna. Hi. Hi, Patricia. I'm happy to help. If you guys ask a question and I don't reply, it's because YouTube's comments disappear so quickly, so just ask again. Also, pardon my arms. It's hot. Oh, hi, Dorothy. One more. I always hate not making enough bobbins, so I overmake. Anybody else? Oh, actually, never mind. Some of my bobbins are really, really tight, so I try to just throw them away. I don't know where they came from that they're so tight. One more. Well, I may as well. It's already set up. One bobbin. Two bobbins. That one's tight also. That's probably why they were on the floor. My cleaning lady, she was sweeping and found a bunch of bobbins on the floor. And I'm thinking I got upset and threw them instead of throwing them away, I guess. Ooh, what is my favorite thing to make? I'm gonna go ahead and say any new pattern. I really like a challenge. So anything new. Yeah, bobbin winder on my machine is awesome, but it's kind of set up so that you can wind your bobbins as you sew, and I always mess mine up, so I wasn't using it for a while. I was using the bobbin winder from Gold Star Tool, and it broke again. I think it's still over here, so I just was like, screw that then. I feel like I'm out of practice. It's been so long since I've sewn, it feels like anyway. But I have another convention coming up, October 10th, so I gotta get back into prep mode. Yeah, it's kind of like a pinky blonde. Whatever it fades into is fine with me. Maybe my feet are loose? No? My stitches don't look awesome. Probably need to oil. Let's see. So right now I'm working on just my simple vinyl tote pattern. Just a bunch of measurements I made up. It's kind of like an Emily. It's like a super, super simple Emily bag. It's just the bottom accent and some handles and some lining. These are what I sell a lot of at the shows. I charge 40. Yeah, 40 for the tote. I used to charge 35, but since I started using a magnetic snap to close them and waterproof canvas, I charge 40. And then normally I charge like $5 for zipper pocket inside, or $5 if they want a zipper on top, that kind of thing. And I really want to be lazy and use a pre-made zipper for this bag, but I also really want to add a poison apple pull, so I don't know. And then this customer requested that I use green hardware, but what she meant was like use mostly green rainbow. So how there's a lot of green on there, this is what she wants. And I was like, I got you. I know what you mean. Made the Brooklyn bag, loved it, very beautiful, but it still seemed small. So what I've heard is that people really like the handbag pattern printed at like 115%, something like that. I can't recall. I think the travel size Brooklyn is nice, but it definitely is too big for like an everyday handbag. So you could print that at 85, maybe somebody said. I can't remember. Sharpie. Oh, I do have Sharpie. Okay, do you guys want me to take you with me at my cutting table? The camera's gonna shake a little bit. My label is 2 inches wide. Yes, I'll take you with me. Yes, Elizabeth, exactly. I love that pattern so much. And even if you cut off 2 inches from the top of the bag, it is so cute. My tester and my good friend Nikki, she actually was short on cork when she made her tester version. So she shortened it so that it was, I think instead of 13 cutting, it was like 11 or something. And it's so cute at that size. Like it looks so classy. I actually made 2 that size and I loved it. I want to make more, but it's so hard knowing what people are going to want and prepping for shows. I miss being able to just load an album in a group and having people buy from there. I felt like it was more freedom. I don't know. Instead of like prepping a bunch of totes and prepping a bunch of wallets, it's getting to just make whatever I want. I'm probably only gonna stay live for about an hour. I have 4 total totes to make, I think. Yeah, this one and then 2 others. So right now I'm just folding the straps. I added my tape to the center, folded the edges over, leaving a small gap, and then a stitch length of 5. I used double-sided tape that I purchased from waywack.com, WAWAK.com. And then I just kind of trim my excess vinyl so it's a nice, even length. And when I'm prepping totes, I usually end up with those little strap ends everywhere. Hello, Angela. Hi, Jacqueline. This is the Threads app from Amazon so that my threads don't fray. It kind of heat seals it. And then I'm going to trim the ends. I'd say those are a winner, yes. Okay, so let's head on over to my cutting table. I'm gonna have to raise you up a bit. So if it stopped working, you may want to change the batteries or you may want to change the fuse. I would start with the batteries because that's cheaper. So to cut out the linings for these, I actually just lay my fabric on top and then cut out around it. Whoops. And then this is going to be a zippered closure, so I need to remember to grab my zipper. So I just start with one end. And then I'll clip it into place. And then I usually increase my seam allowance within my lining anyway, so if my lining is a little bit bigger than my exterior fabric, that's okay. Okay, so there's that. And again, I'm just laying my fabric on top. I've got a nice straight edge there, so I'm just gonna clip it there to start. Cut out my corners. So if you're really OCD about your measurements, this method will not work for you. You will hate it. Don't even try it. But if you're like me and you're like, it doesn't have to be perfect, it will be okay, this is really easy. Lowering you back down. Now it glows when hot, yeah. I don't really have any like good scissors, so I'm gonna go ahead and say no, I don't use my good scissors, because I really don't have any that are like, well, I mean I do, but I try not to use them because then they're not good. Okay, so since this tote is going to have a zippered top, I'm basically going to be making a giant zipper pouch. So my right sides are gonna go together. So I'm gonna iron my zipper first. And I'm gonna be adding a zipper end to this. So I'm just starting by turning my zipper at the raw edge. And then I'm just gonna clip it in place. And then instead of sewing it straight, I'm gonna turn it at like a 45-degree angle near the edge. So, Margie, I am not using a plastic zipper, I'm using nylon and it does not melt. So turn that edge up, and then you can see here we were kind of tapering it off at the edge. And then I'll lay my lining over top. You can baste your zipper in place if you want to. I am not going to because I'm not using interfaced fabric. Ooh, so fun. Because I did not interface my fabric, it would pucker. It would bunch up. So I'm using a zipper that is way longer than I need it to be. And then I'm gonna add a zipper to the end. Kim, not a dumb question at all. Hi, Richard. So there's a really like smooth, waxy feeling side almost, and that is the wrong side. And then there's a textured side. You can see the weave of it. That is the right side. So you're gonna wanna see that when you're sewing. So I'm leaving my lining facing up and I'm just stitching through my exterior fabric and my zipper all the way. And then if your lining gets in the way, you can kind of roll it up out of the way, but you want to pull, make sure it's nice and straight. And then your zipper should be tapered out of that seam allowance. So here's what we're looking at, and I just stitched on top of that, and then you can finger press this to the back side. And the reason I'm not sewing through it is because when you sew it all together, it's gonna sit weird if you sew through all the layers. What you can do if you want to sew your lining down is keep 1/2 inch of each edge unsewn. So that way when you're sewing everything together, you can separate the lining and the exterior fabric. All right. Right sides together, lining up the edge of one exterior panel to the other, and then my zipper is face down on the exterior, so it's literally just a giant zipper pouch, which I know I already said, but just a reminder. Oh, that's perfect, honestly. I'm sure it's the same stuff. Genius, I love it. I don't know if I said it. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Richard. I'm 59, been sewing forever, but now making bags because of you for the last 2 years. Oh, hi, Richard. Thank you. Hi, Samantha, if I didn't already say that. Phyllis, your comment to someone not too long ago, well, I guess it was probably a really long time ago, about how long the videos were, was my favorite. Just wanted you to know. So kind of keeping everything straight, just holding it together with my fingers, making sure that I can see just barely the edge of my exterior fabric from underneath. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that top stitching. Hi, Karen. Yes, I had so much fun at Disney. So much fun. All right, so I'm separating it open and top stitching only the main fabric and the zipper, so I can see my lining fabrics are right sides together on the other side. And I'm just pulling them apart with my hands as I go. Making sure my zipper is tapered out of that seam allowance. Okay. So now I'm ready to sew it together. I will be riveting the straps on afterwards, and I guess I have to sew them on too, because normally I top stitch it, but that's okay. So I've got this really long zipper tail. I'm folding it in and clipping it to my zipper. So here's the tail. Whoop. Clipping it to my zipper so that I don't sew through it accidentally. And then I'm going to put right sides together and linings together. And matching up my accent panels. And you can use this way of putting things together for any measurements. Hi, Gypsy. Cutting the straps? Yeah, of course. Tammy. Well, that's not how Lauren does it. Yeah. I definitely am a little unconventional when it comes to bag making, I think. But, I mean, it works. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. Okay. Making sure the linings are all together. So many clips. And you can, of course, add tons of pockets inside if you wanted to. I like your way better. All right, I'm switching my stitch length down to 4. I'm going to leave an opening in the lining. And then instead of lifting up on the corners, I'm just pivoting them together. And then I'm kind of feeling my zipper to make sure I don't sew through it. Just want to sew right next to it and back stitch. Back stitch on my accent, back stitch at the corner, and then just bring the other side of the corner to it. Keeping there. And you can really use any size seam allowance you would like to, just so long as you're consistent. All right, so I'm getting to the edge, back stitch. Increase my seam allowance a little bit. Bottom corner. Bring that over. And just leave a birthing hole open. And then I'm going to square my corners, or box them. So I'm sticking my hand in the birthing hole, popping open the side. And then I like to separate the seam so it sits nice and flat. And add some clips. So you can see here I've opened up the seam on the top and the bottom so it sits flat. Hand inside on the other one. You're basically just doing that for all 4 corners. Jacqueline, at the moment I am catching up on orders, but I will be show prepping after this weekend. I have a custom ordered Brooklyn travel bag to make, a custom ordered How You Doin' roller bag with an NCW. I think that's it right now. I really want to make some leather handbags for the shows I have coming up. I know like they don't sell as well because of the price point, but I just want to have some fun with leather. So I'm not trimming down all of my seam allowances, just at the corners and the zipper. So I'm going to leave the seam allowance as is in the lining and the exterior, but I've just trimmed it down there. For this tote, the seam allowance kind of acts as like a spine. It gives it more strength on the side so it stands up better. So that's why I always leave my seam allowances in this one. Trimming down that seam allowance. And now I'm ready to birth the bag. I'm gonna add a "You look really pretty today" label inside. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the lining, or the exterior bottom, pull that through the lining first. Push the vinyl accent out. Then you can kind of unzip your zipper, push the corners of your lining out. Kind of cool. Oh, that's okay. There's always the replay. And then again, what's nice about the waterproof canvas is that I didn't need to add any interfacing because it's gonna add stability to the bag. And honestly, these kind of stand up on their own with the waterproof canvas. So I'm clipping my opening. My stitch length is still set to 4. I'm back stitching quite a bit. And then when I feel like I've reached the center, I'm gonna pop in a label that says, "You look really pretty today." Because why not? And if you guys missed it, I did add a bunch of new woven label designs to my website, as well as some new like collections so it's easier to shop instead of everything being on the same page like it was, kind of. So feel free to check it out and give me some feedback if you're bored. All right, shoving my lining back in. I'm just putting the corners together. So I'm just using my pointer finger and my middle finger to line it up. Make sure it's all sitting nicely. And I may actually sew around the entire outside a second time so that I can catch the lining. Yeah, I think I will. So here's what it looks like inside, and I attach my handles with a rivet, but I also like to sew around so that it has two forms of reinforcement. So I will do that. But just make sure everything's nice and flat first. Ooh, Jacqueline, that is a tough call. I will say I've made, I like the directions of the How You Doin' better than the Baronia. But I do enjoy making the Baronia bag. But I think that the How You Doin' is probably easier because of the instructions and just how the bag is put together in general. I will stay live to prep some of the other bags. Like I have to make the handles and I have to make or add the bottom accent pieces, but I don't know that I'll stay live to make them completely, just because I don't want this video to be super, super long. So I may go live in Sew Whatever afterwards. We'll see. I want to make sure I give every place a little bit of love. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually I like to add the handles at 4.5, but I'm feeling 5 right now. Whoops. Hi, Cheryl. So 5 inches from the outer seam and then like 1 inch down. And then I'm just making sure that these are even. They are. So I've used double-sided tape, but it notoriously comes undone. So I'm gonna use these clips. Honestly, this is like the second time I've ever added a zipper to this bag, this pattern, so I'm kind of just making it up as I go. Hi, Sue. Oh, it's so pretty. And I only sort of regret not adding a poison apple pull to it. So for the other side of the bag, I don't worry about measuring from the side. I just line them up on top of each other from the outside. Like from the other side, I line them up. Because I'm like, it's fine. As long as the straps line up. And then size-wise on the top. Okay. So I've got my handles added-ish. So I'm gonna open the side seam. Hello Sharon, hi Christine. I'm gonna switch my stitch length to 5, starting on the side seam, just a little ways down from my existing top stitching, back stitch. sew over my handles. And when I sew over the handles, I add a few back stitches, not all at once, but I'll go over the edge of the handle and I'll go 2, back stitch 1, and then I'll go forward and back stitch and forward and back stitch. So it's not like forward and back stitching, it's just like reinforcement stitches as I go. And as long as I've been doing it this way, I have not had any complaints that handles have fallen off or anything, so it must be working. Back stitch, back stitch, back stitch. So 1 back stitch on one end, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the other. And then I'm also folding down my lining as I do this. Back stitch, back stitch, back stitch. Last one. I'm going to grab my thread zap. And zap all those threads. Sweet. And then I'm going to rivet the handles on as well. But I have to go through and like pick out the greenest looking ones. So there's that. And it is a really nice sized tote bag. Okay. These are 3/4 of an inch. So I just use my 6 by 24 inch ruler and cut out a piece of vinyl, and then I cut that in half and then mark my 1.5 inch centers. I say I, but most of the time Tammy does it. So I'm just adding all my holes for the rivets. And then normally I'll add strap ends to my handles, but this girl wants mostly green, and I don't think I have the ability to search out all of my green strap ends. I don't have the patience. So I'm like going through all of my rivet caps and trying to find the greenest ones, which is a little bit of a pain, but whatever. And then I can use nickel on the opposite side, actually. Okay, those are pretty green. So I'm gonna put the nickel through the back side, and then I'll add the rainbow rivet cap on top. Yeah, I think she'll like it. Whoops. It was really cute when she ordered this in person. She was like, do those colors go together? Like, that works together, right? And then she explained how she painted her apartment, but her friend said none of the colors went together. So she was like, I just wanna make sure. So cute. Okay. So there it is, all zipped up at the top. And I'm gonna add a zipper end. I gotta go grab that. screwdriver, my clamps, two of these. Oh, and my lighter. Where's my lighter? Snip that. So I've cut my zipper, and then I just run the lighter across it, pull the ends under. And just like with anything, the more you do it, the easier it gets. This used to take me forever to line up just right. Now I can do it in no time. I light it again, I use my clamps, stick it all together. Don't push too hard or you'll start to separate your zipper though. And then as I charge, if I were to make this one again, it would be $45. I usually charge $5 extra for the zipper on top, but I really liked the person who ordered it, so I was like, whatever, I don't feel like typing in an additional $5 because she was sweet, and I knew it wouldn't take me long. So I would normally charge $45 for this, but I charged her $40. But she also paid full price for shipping, and at shows I usually try to offer discounted shipping. Anyway, and there is the zipper end attached. I like to give it a little bit of a tug to make sure it's not going to come undone while someone is zipping or unzipping. And that's it. She's done. Okay, poison apple fabric, dark red glitter, lime green hardware, zipper on top. Thank you, Tara. So you can see, it's just a nice big tote. Okay, so I'll grab the other totes and I'll just sew those all together really quick, but then I'll jump off. So comfy June. Okay, no more red. I need white. So hopefully this white will get me through this bag. Yes, Rochelle, I did finish it. Ooh. Okay, so this is Beetlejuice with gray glitter. That also needs lime green lining. Okay. Oh, zipper closure on this one also, and a slip pocket. Well, at least I know how to do it. So this is a pattern I make usually 40 of before a show because they are such good sellers. People really like totes, especially if you're at a show where there's a lot of shopping and maybe they didn't bring a tote. If it's unique enough, you know, people will spend the money to have a shopping bag. Is this all right? Yeah. And so they're easy to kind of mass sew. Bit late. What tote bag pattern? It is my own measurements. Echo. What time is it?
The time is 5:26 p.m.
Okay.
And good evening.
Oh, thanks, you too. She's so sweet. Yeah, I won't be able to get these done just because I have to help a friend with her hair. And then my husband wants to see a movie. As if I haven't spent enough time with him already. Just kidding. And like I said, I'll be in Chicago this weekend for a Pin and Patch Expo show. What is it? Midwest Flair Fest is what it's called. I think it's free. It's at Thalia Hall. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know. I'm sure you've been asked, but what would you be? Oh! Yeah, Kathy, just ones that say handcrafted, yeah. It number 2. I'm excited. I haven't seen it, been wanting to see it. Does it have a name other than it too? Oh yeah, I also have to, oh yeah, I gotta do that. My friend's daughter joined Cub Scouts and I have to sew on the patches before I go because she's meeting me there. Okay. Hi Sharon, how you doing? Okay, so this will be the last thing I sew up. So if you guys have any other questions for me before I jump off, please let me know. Chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2. Last time I saw the movie, there were so many people. They were so loud, which made it less scary. I really enjoyed that part. I was able to laugh at the people instead of like crying in my pants. Okay. So I apologize, you guys. That is all for me right now. No, that pattern is not available on my site. Sue, mostly where I get my vinyl is from FM stores in Springfield. If you call the store, you can tell them and they'll send you an invoice. Oh, yay, Sharon. Of my own. Do I draw it out on paper? So usually I'll kind of like sketch out what I'm thinking as far as measurements and stuff, and then I will cut out my fabric to the measurements I think and like write it down. Richard, I would say that not properly fusing the fabric would have caused that. And yes, so the handles are riveted on through the exterior and the lining. Mallory, I'm sorry. Yes, this video will still be available. So here is the tote all finished. And it's got a crease because I folded it, but this is uninterfaced linen cotton canvas from Spoonflower. So yeah. So that's what we finished. We finished that tote and this wristlet, which was a custom order. With the pull. Look at the pull with it. Ah! So like I said, the zipper pulls are currently sold out in every color but antique gold, and there's only 17 packs of antique gold left. But they will be back in about 2.5 weeks or so. So I'm excited for that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.